How's it going, everybody? It's Space Cowboys 17 here. Welcome back. In this one, we will be discussing how the Alex Smith trade affects the Cowboys. Now, I will say this. Before we can get any further, we must discuss the details of the trade so we are aware of what the Redskins gave up to acquire Alex Smith. So the Kansas City Chiefs sent Alex Smith to Washington for a third-round pick this year and Kendall Fuller. So that's what the trade looked like. Now, in terms of the context of a contract extension which was given, it's not a finalized deal, keep in mind it is technically finalized in March when the next official NFL season begins. The contract looks something like this. It's a $94 million contract extension for 4 years with $71 million in guarantees, which is insane to say the least. And some people might, laugh to the bank saying, oh, wow, the Redskins are dumb to take this trade. Well, let me put it to you this way. I will admit that if you're looking at it from the logistical standpoint, the Redskins made a somewhat of a smart move. Why? Because you're going out and getting a stable franchise guy in terms of Alex Smith. The guy that's not going to be this amazing quarterback, but he's good enough to do stuff for you in the short term. Now, I understand that he is getting up there in age, so obviously that's going to become a factor soon. However, if you pay attention to some of these other NFL franchises, some of them might not have good quarterbacks. Some of them might have amazing quarterbacks. The point I'm trying to get at is that a franchise quarterback is hard to come by in this day and age. And I think that, yes, Washington made a smart decision if they wanted to secure that position for a couple more seasons while they look for another possible QB or just try to solidify the team before bringing in another quarterback. So, in terms of Kirk Cousins, he will be leaving. He will not be staying in the division most likely, so I'm not going to be surprised if he heads off to Denver, which is most likely where he's going. Now, getting back into the NFC East, how does this impact the Cowboys? Well, if you're looking at the NFC East from a outsider's perspective, you're looking at so you got the Eagles who won the division this year, and obviously they're a talented team. You have the Cowboys who came in second this year, but you got to keep in mind that they're a talented team too, and they can rival with the Eagles in terms of for the crown of the NFC East. And then you have the Washington Redskins in limbo between rebuild and contending. And then you finally got the New York Giants in a rebuild mode. Now, I'm not trying to say this as an insult or to make fun of these teams, but looking at it from a perspective of the football, mindset rather than, a fan's perspective, obviously the Cowboys and Eagles are the main top dogs in the division. It's just a matter of who is going to win it every year. Now, obviously, the Redskins tend to be that wild card that ends up doing something. And, it's kind of funny because, they're always this wrench in, the plans of whoever's trying to win the division or try to stay in the playoff chase. And then you got New York, who's just a dumpster fire right now. Now, obviously, they will be taking time in rebuilding. So, in the terms of the NFC East, to kind of wrap up those thoughts, it's a two-way race, okay, between Dallas and Philly. Now, I think that if you're looking at the Redskins, obviously, it's pretty much going to be a more or less carbon copy of the same team, just a different quarterback. And I think that the Redskins are not gonna be awful, but I think they're just gonna be painfully average. And I just think that if you look at this long term, I think that Philly and Dallas have the brightest futures of the four teams in the NFC East, and they're definitely going to contend for future NFC East titles for now. For all I know, that Washington might get its stuff together, which probably won't be the case, and New York could possibly get their stuff together. At the end of the day, I think that this trade affects not only the Cowboys, but the whole NFC East and the complexion of it. So, I'm expecting that Dallas and Philly will be going at it for years to come until either New York or Washington gets their act together. That's just my opinion. And I'm not trying to say this as an insult as a fan, even though I hate everybody else in the division as a Cowboys fan. But looking at this from a football fan perspective, clearly it's a two-way race. There's no question about that. It's just a matter of who's going to win it. Now, with that being said, I want to ask you guys, what's your opinion on the Alex Smith trade? How is this going to affect the Cowboys? How is it going to affect the NFC East? Come on, let's have a discussion, guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Now, if you made it to the end of the video, please make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe, because that shows that you are a true MVP. And I will be seeing you guys later. Bye-bye, guys.